before we begin this review of a doggone pay-per-view, the reason I'm so freaking late coming in here is because I was waiting on this matchup. I've been wanting to see how my girl come back and style. My goodness, man. I'm so glad that Mercedes then took a chance on herself, and I pray the best for her. I pray the best moving forward. I pray that she stay 100% healthy. Her and Kairi Sane put on the banger tonight. I'm serious, man. I listen. New Japan, strong style, Battle at the Valley or something like that. It was okay. Let me tell you something. I think the New Japan audience pay-per-views, because I found out that the New Japan audience pay-per-views really just sit there. Now they do make somewhat noise, but they just sit there just to watch the match or whatever. They don't make as much noise. So I'm gonna be honest with you, it kind of made it kind of difficult for me to watch the show. But I was just waiting. I was waiting for this matchup because that's all I cared about. Jay White versus Eddie Kingston actually was pretty solid. I'm not gonna lie. Jay White is coming to the WWE. It's already set in stone. That man pulling out. If he don't, he don't. But I just feel like he pulling up to the E. Because Eddie Kingston beat him. Whoever won, lead. If Eddie Kingston lost, he can't wrestle in New Japan no more. If Jay White lost, he's vanished from New Japan where he lost. And then he got jumped by Finn Balor's son. So, Kairi Sane, Mercedes Moné. Mercedes Moné's new theme song is a remixed version of Jump Jump by Chris Cross. Listen, Kairi Sane came out there. I mean, the crowd was hyped. The crowd was hyped for this. They said that this was the loudest the whole crowd got out there in San Jose, if I'm not mistaken. It was in California. Bailey was in the house. CM Punk was in the house. Trinity Fatu was in the house. I'm telling you, man, everybody was in the house. They went out there. They did what they had to do. I'm watching this. I'm thinking Kairi Sane going to retain. That's what I'm thinking. And lo and behold, with the ref getting knocked out and all that stuff, I'm like, okay, we know some shenanigans about to happen. But no, they just took it outside the ring, and both of the ladies was just tearing each other up. They were beating the brakes off each other. I said, go ahead, girls. Go ahead. Do work. Do work. The ladies did work, man. The ladies did work. And I can't be mad at them because they did an outstanding job. Mercedes Moné is here, ladies and gentlemen. She's here to stay. Then we got the main event. We got, I say, I'll be butchering my dudes' names. I just remember my man coming through at Forbidden Door going against Moxley. Homeboy went against Okada for the IWPG World Heavyweight Championship. They put on a pretty good match, but Okada's the man out that way. It's all about Okada. Okada run New Japan Wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. He run it. He run it. He is the complete face of New Japan Wrestling. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's why for somebody like me who doesn't really look at New Japan Wrestling, I'm going to do my best. I'm not saying that I am, because with my work schedule, it's hard for me to keep. I mean, I keep up with both Raw, SmackDown, AEW, and Dynamite, but it's even hard for me to do that because I'm not even in the house. So now I got this. Think about it. We got a Ring of Honor streaming site that's been to drop. We got the New Japan stuff. It's just so much freaking wrestling that you can try to. Heck, I don't even talk about Impact no more. It's just, you just had to make time. You really do. Like, if you call yourself a wrestling fan, it's almost like you legit had to make time to sit down and watch all these different wrestling corporations that we got out here. Like I say, think about it. This is why, with Vince McMahon trying to monopolize everything, just destroyed everything. This is why having alternatives, as what they say, is best for business. If you're not a fan of what goes on in the E, you can tune in to AEW. If you're not a fan of what goes on in AEW, you can tune in to Impact. If you're not a fan of what goes on in Impact, you can tune into what's going on out there in the New Japan world. And after Okada's match, Okada got there, got a standing ovation from the crowd. Got the crowd hyped, said San Jose, we did it. We put on the out. He said, how do we do? Fans went nuts. They went crazy. So as he's talking, he talked about doing some tag team type of stuff. The next thing you know, Mercedes comes out the woodwork. I said, oh, snap. I said, what's this about? So Mercedes hopped in the ring. Then she said something about possibly teaming up with Okada. So I'm sitting up here like, oh snap, maybe I might have to try to figure out how to keep up with what's going on in the New Japan world, and especially with when I'm hearing about all of this being tied together with the Ring of Honor show, which is going to lead into the Forbidden Door show. It's man, I'm gonna have to try to figure out. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna have to try to figure out how to stay connected with all this stuff, because man, listen. Everything outside the E, man, I don't know. I don't know, man. This year alone, despite all the hardships that we done faced so far, like, first and foremost, before I continue on, my heart goes out to the residents out there in Ohio with the train blowing up and spewing all the chemicals into the water supply and making the water all done for. Can't nobody take a bath, can't nobody drink it, can't nobody do nothing. I just pray for them, pray to God make a way for them to get clean water or something. And then, just people just dying off left and right, you know what I mean? But despite all of this, 2023 could potentially be an excellent year for all things wrestling if cats just put their head together and just figure out how to tell great stories. And what I'm getting ready to do as I get ready to review this pay-per-view called The Elimination Chamber, I am going to be as authentic with you. I'm going to be as real with you, because I got some things I got to get off my chest about what I witnessed last night, because it's Sunday morning right now. So we are going to review this pay-per-view, and we will begin. So I just wanted to come on here before I started the review, give my honest take on Mercedes and Kairi Sane going to work. So I will see you cats in a second. Watch the intro. I'll let you cats in a minute. Yo, what's good? This is Casey for L, King Self for Life Wrestling Takes, and you're now watching Casey for L Wrestling Take Show. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Casey Phil, King Self for Life Wrestling Takes. Now, normally, anytime I do a pay-per-view review, I normally have my green screen on and you can see my face and everything, but I'm working on some things about getting things set up, so I won't be doing that for a little bit. But I will have it back. Don't worry. I'll be able to show my face more than likely. I think the next pay-per-view is coming up, which is Revolution. By Revolution, I'll have my face so you'll be able to see me and you can see my raw emotion. You won't be able to see my raw emotion, but I will be going off about things that transpired on this pay-per-view. Now, people will tell me that out of all the Triple H's pay-per-view, they say that this is by far his best. And I'm going to be 1,000% with you. From the majority of the show I've seen, because I was out for the first two matches, even though I was still able to see him. I just had to look at him on the app because I wasn't home yet. Normally I'm here for the pay-per-views, but we went to go see the Ant-Man movie, which I thought it was a pretty solid movie. I know some people thought it wasn't really that good. I saw it, but got home and we was right on time for Beth Phoenix, Edge, Finn Balor, and Rhea Ripley. Triple H, when it comes to him and his pay-per-view booking, what he does, he likes to get people suckered in. So when you think he's going to give you a banger of a pay-per-view, he kind of does and he kind of doesn't. And for the most part, for the most pay-per-views I've seen, Triple H's pay-per-view booking has been very subpar. Now, I know people going to come on here and think I'm just straight hating. No, this is fact. I had to be 1,000%, which I can't sugarcoat. I cannot sugarcoat what this fool Triple H does. He does this foolishness way too much. The things that took place on this show tonight, H could have easily, if he wanted to put forth an effort, he could have easily got, like, he could have, for me, he could have probably got a 9. But the quality and the foolishness that he decided to do tonight, we getting ready to cook this clown. We cooking him. I'm cooking him. Now, when it comes to this main event right here, oh my goodness. Now listen, you talk about being on the edge of your seat. Listen, I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. The entire time. And everything in this main event is what you want. The raw emotion. H and M was in a bag until the very end. And that's what I'm going to really dissect when I get there. Because when I get there, listen, I'm going on two different rants. I'm going on a rant when I get to Bobby Lashley and Brock for obvious reasons. And then when I get to the main event, I'm going to really cook. I'm cooking them early and I'm cooking them late. But let me go ahead and let me give them some props on the positives that I've seen out of this show. So let's go ahead and start this show live again from Montreal, Quebec, a.k.a. Canada. One of the hottest crowds I've seen in a long time. Listen, if WWE went to Canada, I wouldn't mind. I mean, if they did every show in Canada, I wouldn't mind. I actually wouldn't mind because the fact that the crowds is like, let me tell y'all something. Our city, Philly, Texas, New York, LA, Canada. I'm trying to see if I'm leaving anybody out. Certain parts of Ohio, not all Ohio. But those major cities that I named, Canada, Chicago, L.A., New York, Texas, those are Philly. Those are the hottest of the hottest city. Anytime a wrestling show, does not matter what promotion, they go over there, you more than likely the crowd's going to be excellent. They are going to be outstanding. And if I'm going to say an easy positive for this show had to be the crowd. The crowd was hyped throughout the entire show. And I got to give the Canada fans nothing but props. That's what you want. You want your crowd to be so invested in the wrestling show. It's the reaction from the wrestling fans makes or breaks the wrestling show. Obviously they do. It's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I love that about the fans out there in Canada. All of them was basically anticipating this because this is what they was looking forward to. So we opened up the show with the women's Elimination Chamber match. And the right woman went over. Now, I thought because she looked so strong going up to this that they wasn't going to make it that predictable. I personally think, for me, I think what they should have done was they could have had Asuka not look as strong. So you wouldn't obviously pick her because they made it so easy. Now, but I got to give the girls props. Every woman in this match shined. Liv Morgan did a thing. Natalya did great. Nikki Cross did okay. Rick, let me tell you something. Listen, man. Raquel Gonzalez, what is it? Rodriguez Gonzalez. I don't know what they call him. It's Rodriguez. Let me tell you something. Ever since Raquel, quote unquote, revealed how she get down, I kind of been caused to pause about her. Now, if she ever decides to come out and say, you know what, I said some things that were wrong and I want to apologize about it and be upfront about it, maybe I might get back on her bandwagon. But as of right now, what I was seeing from her, I think out of everybody in this match, I think she was obviously, listen, even with Carmella, and Carmella, you know, she could still use some work. But I think out of everybody that was in this match, I think Raquel Rodriguez was probably the weakest link out of the whole match. But for the majority of this, I thought all the ladies did work. I thought they did an outstanding job. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they had Oscar. Did Oscar enter first? I think it was. No, they had Natalya and Liv started off. They kicked it off. Then Nikki got up in there. Then I think after Nikki, Rodriguez got up in there. And then, let me see. Because remember, like I said, we was at the restaurant trying to get some food. That's why I was like, I was trying to pay attention, but you know, my mind was just waiting to go inside. Let me see. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, all the girls was in except for, I think Oscar went in there. Yeah, one of them went in there. Yeah. So then Nikki Cross got knocked out. So he was the first one to go. Raquel got rid of her. So then Oscar can't. Yes, Oscar was the final one to get up in there. So then, to make a long story short, I thought, well, since Natalya's at the crib, they gonna actually let a hometown hero do her thing, right? They said, nope, we're not gonna do that. Liv and Natalya was basically beating the snot at each other, and then Oscar basically took out both of them. It was a tag team. Oscar and Natalya both eliminated Liv. Liv basically was choked out, so she was gone. So then Carmella got rid of Natalya. So then both Oscar and Carmella got rid of Raquel. So now it came down to the final two, who pretty much been teasing, going at each other on Raw, if you've been peeping how things go. So it was already a foregone conclusion. You already knew what was going to happen after that. The Murder Clown prevails, and she is going at the Bianca. Now, let me tell you something. I thought the women did great. I thought they did an outstanding job. But I personally think, for me, I think what would have probably added more to this is if Bianca was sitting out there. Or you could have had Bianca watching. Listen, when you want to start a serious build to something, when you want your champion out there or at least paying attention, ain't that's what you want? But see, before I go into this is exactly what I tell y'all all the time. If H and them want to get behind somebody, they'll get behind somebody. If they want to just put somebody out there, put a title on them, and really not give a crap about them, prime example, look no further than my girl Bianca Belair. Now she gets to go against Asuka. So most people already got Asuka beating the snot out of Bianca. And you know what? I don't blame them, because as much as I love Bianca, I already know Triple H and them has done her no favors. They have done her no favors. People say, well, she done ran through everybody. Look, if they really wanted to get behind Bianca, you would actually give a care about Bianca retaining the championship. But you know she's not. So this, whatever they plan on doing, they probably gonna have Asuka, and here's the deal. If you want people to guess, make both Asuka and Bianca look strong together. That's how you build a great feud. Make us care about the match so that when we see the match, anything can happen. But remember, when I get ready to talk about this, you're gonna hear exactly what I truly understand how WWE gets down. And let's go ahead and talk about it. This was by far the worst match on the show. You didn't even need to have this match. You could have just kept this. You could have did this on Raw. Call it a day. Do the stupid match on Raw. And you could have saved and gave us Madcap Moss versus Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. I would have took that match over this hot garbage. Let me tell y'all something. This is the third matchup between them. And it's almost as if Bobby Lashley really didn't win the match. This wasn't even a match. This was a spear, F5, hurt lock, F5, spear, hurt lock, F5, F5, spear, low blow. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been trying to tell y'all for the longest. Y'all all thought Vince McMahon was the only white supremacist that ran around in WWE land. Triple H is part of that same cloth. Oh, y'all must have forgot about the time when he went with Booker T. And he told him this is going to WrestleMania 19. What did he tell him? Oh, people like you don't belong in this scene. You're supposed to make me laugh with your nappy hair. Listen, people say, oh, that was Vince McMahon. No, y'all must have forgot. Triple H is the same dude that wore blackface when him and D-Generation X was beefing with the Nation of Domination. Oh, that's Vince. No, Triple H is part of the same playing field, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. Oh, he ain't like that. Well, y'all must have forgot about Mr. Jordan Miles, a.k.a. ACH. Remember when Jordan Miles was the flavor of the month? Jordan Miles was the come out star of the week or something like that. And then they gave him a shirt. And they gave him that black face shirt and called it a day and said that this is excellent. This is what you're going to go out there and you're going to wear. And my man went off and destroyed both Vince and Triple H. I tell y'all every single day, Triple H can't book us to save his life. He cannot. I've tried to give this fool a pass at the pass at the pass. He can't book us to say, you listen, the only person who may go in on Triple H when it's concerning us is my main man King Mike. You ain't gonna hear this on none of these cats podcasts out here. We the only two that's gonna keep it real. And shout out to my main man Melvin, because he keep it, even though he don't have no podcast, he'll keep it real too. You're not gonna hear this on nobody's podcast. You're not gonna hear this on none of them, because all they gonna do is shield. We the only ones that's gonna keep it real. We gonna tell you the bold-faced truth. Triple H, if he wanted to get behind Bobby and Brock, he could have had them. And then here's another thing. This also on Brock Lesnar too. Because every time Brock Lesnar get in the ring with one of us, the matches always flop. Look no further than on the bull jive he did with the New Day. Don't even get me started with that trash crap that he did when Brock Lesnar, he beat Kofi in like, 8 seconds. They made Kofi Kingston look like the worst wrestler on the planet on that episode of SmackDown. This was right before they went to Saudi Arabia for, I think it was Crown Jewel. It was one of them shows. This was right before they went to Saudi Arabia. All Kofi did was jump in that man's arm. He did an F5 match over. Then, once again, he goes against Bobby. He beats him for the WWE Championship like it's nothing. Then, guess who else got it? Big E. He beats him like it's nothing. See, sum up with this. How the heck Brock Lesnar get in the ring with everybody else? He always want to have a bang with everybody else. But the moment his tail get in the ring with us, he always want to act like he don't want to do nothing. See, that's caused a pause when it's concerned to Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar give off. See, back in the day, he didn't give off those type of vibes, but now he's a suspect. A lot of people don't want to talk about that, but Brock Lesnar is a suspect white supremacist as well. I don't know. He just, listen. Do I think Brock Lesnar is a good wrestler? Absolutely, because in the past he's given us great matches. But it just seems like anytime he decides to get in the ring with us, he don't even he puts forth no type of effort, none. And Triple H decided to allow this foolishness on quote unquote Black History Month. You couldn't just let Bobby go over clean and we finish this whole stuff. So check this out. With the garbage beat down that happened at the end, because he beat the snot out of him, he beat the brakes off of referees and all this stuff. Don't you think Bobby gonna want to get a revenge? And here's the stupid part. Bray Wyatt said, I'm going after the winner. So why the clown would you do this stupid stuff? It's stupid booking. This is retarded booking one-on-one. H ain't get no pass. Hey, listen, you can give Triple H a pass all you want. You can say, oh, this is great booking. No, it's not. This is idiotic booking. He gets a major F for this crap. Brock Lesnar gets an F. And Bobby's a fool for agreeing to this idiotic stuff. It's stupid. All of them. Stupid as heck, man. This why when I heard, because like I said, we was driving home when this match was on. I was like, what? I said, hold up. I said, you telling me that the match ended like that? So he started F5 and referees and just beating the snot out of everybody. I'm like, what? And y'all, and this is the sad part. Listen, I get it. I forgot about this. Yeah, Brock is Canadian too. So, but and the fans, listen, think about this. Brock Lesnar has been the heel, quote unquote, because he's been basically screwing Bobby Lashley every chance he get. Yet they portrayed him as if he's the babyface. But meanwhile, you want us to hate on Bobby Lashley. Why? See, you're not going to hear this on nobody else's podcast. Nobody else is going to dissect this like this. People going to say, oh, here you go again, race bait. I'm telling you both is true. I told you, you can't trust Triple H. Triple H is part of that same pod. He's a part of that same clan that Vince McMahon ride with. He's a part of it. These fools that want to praise this fool, no, he's a part of that same clan. He's a part of the same clan. And I'm going to get on his case again. Because I ain't talked about this, what I heard about what happened later on. This is after the show. This when he decided, because he like to do his press conference just like Tony Khan does. I'll talk about it when I get there. But high garbage match. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. So, they decided to do, because I've been hearing about it. Since they going back to Hollywood, they trying to rekindle what they did back like when it was WrestleMania 21. So everybody was doing those Hollywood commercial vignettes, what I thought was great. Everybody had. I mean, to me, to this day, I hold WrestleMania 21 as one of my favorites because it was my first one watching. It was my first WrestleMania watching. I'm serious. That's why I hold that one to my heart. I know people say it's better WrestleManias out there, but for me, WrestleMania 21 will always be my favorite because it was my first one that I actually seen. And I love the build up. The build up for everybody who was a part of everything had something to do with those going to Hollywood vignettes. That stuff was great. It was funny as heck. So Becky and Seth tried to do Batman. They tried it. I'm gonna be honest with you, flop. They tried. Seth was the Joker and Becky was supposed to be Batman. I said, if this is what we getting ready to get, I don't know. I don't know. It is what it is. So then we get Mr. Sellout himself, the clown that was going. Let me tell you something. Now here's the deal. This young man has every right to be at WWE because he feels that WWE is better than AEW. If he feels that way, he has every right to. But here's the deal. His behind pulled up there, all up in the crowd on SmackDown, where here he is again, in the crowd again. It triggered Tony Khan. And Tony Khan ran to Twitter and called that man a sellout. He said, dude is a fraud, and he's not like, he's unbiased journalism, unlike my main man, Tony Schiavone. So then what did he do? He hopped on Twitter and clapped back and said, hey, old friend, I'll see you later. But, hey, don't listen to the snowman, Tony Schiavone. You're a legend. Now, when he says snowman, y'all already know exactly what he's talking about. That was a hardcore jab. And so, fools in the IWC, especially the cats that love to eat and hate AEW and hate anything that has anything to do with Tony Khan, you already know. They was hopping in that man DMs. They was hopping into his mentions, doing whatever. I mean, just disrespecting him and calling him, out his name and saying he got triggered and all this. I'm gonna be honest with you. In a way, Tony Khan kind of had this coming. If I was him, I wouldn't have said nothing. I would have just let Ariel Wani just do the little silly stuff out there in WWE land. Let him shield all he want. Don't say nothing. Because no matter what Tony Khan do, people gonna hate on this man no matter what. If that man just hop on Twitter and say hi, people gonna hop in his mentions and call him out his name. It does not matter what this dude, it's like, here's the deal. It's like he gets destroyed for just being alive. And see, that's the sad part. I personally think Tony Khan's a good dude, but here's the deal. Tony Khan sometimes does need to grow up. His immaturity level does spring out. He's a grown man on Twitter, sometimes acting like a little kid because something that WWE did. Now, here's the deal. I get it. Wrestling competition, yeah, you can take pot shots because, boy, did they take pot shots at Elimination Chamber. Michael Cole said something about it, and then I wasn't even thinking about it when I watched this matchup, but I'm going to talk about it. Because in this matchup, something that happened that belongs to AEW took place in this. I'll talk about it. But like I said, Tony Khan, man, just focus on. Listen, we got 2 weeks before we get to Revolution. You got to get a whole bunch of cats to pay for this stuff. A host of us. If cats gonna pay for this stuff, you got to get a whole bunch of us excited for this show. And like I said, my level right now for Revolution, I'm at a 40. Usually around this time when we go into pay-per-views, I'm usually like at a 60. I really don't. That'd be my my meter level. I don't really, if something is extremely hot, then I'm like, okay, I can't wait for it. But right now, I'm at a 40. So, Tony Khan, you got some work to do, young man. You got some work to do. So if I'm you, I'm focusing on AEW. Screw what the clown going on in WWE land. Let them burn themselves to the ground. Beth Phoenix and Edge versus Judgment Day's Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley. Now, this is a traditional mixed tag team match. Now, I said that this was going to end in a double count out because, or no contest, because obviously we was going to get one more match between Edge and Finn Balor. But based on everything that happened in this match, I'm actually cool with this. I thought everybody did an excellent job. And Dominic got the most heat out of everybody. They was talking about F you, Dominic. I mean, you talk about some legit heat. He got some heat. They couldn't stand that food. They couldn't stand him. So him doing all the little shenanigans he was doing, they was trying. Finn Balor and Rhea out here doing this work. And then the scene where they all got in the ring and the ladies basically did the moves on each other's man. Beth did the move. She did the slam on Finn, while Rhea did the slam on Edge and everything. I said, wait a minute. So you telling me Rhea and Beth trying to be a tag team now? So there was the scene where they actually pulled something out. They pulled a rabbit out the hat, right? So Edge gets laid out because they pulled out the brass knuckle. Edge gets laid out, right? So they was trying to, quote unquote, have Beth come in there and stop the count. But Beth was a little bit too late. So Edge barely kicked out and then Beth jumped on it. So he was like, let me tell you something. I think this match, it was, for me personally, it was just way too many shenanigans in it. I get it. You're supposed to have shenanigans in matches like these. But it was just some stuff in this match. I was like, you know what? If they didn't do all this, then I think this was probably a classic. Just in my honest opinion. But outside of that, I thought all five of them did a great job. Edge and Beth ended up winning. So now the question is, what do you do moving forward? We know Rhea's got Charlotte. We understand that. But what do you do moving forward with Edge, Finn Balor, Beth Phoenix going into WrestleMania? What do you do? I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. So the finishing move that they did was FTR's tag team move where they throw the opponent up and slam him down. I said, oh, you already know who that was a shot at. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, overall, I thought this was a pretty good match. I thought they all did a good job. So kudos to H and them on that one. So then they cut to the back. You see Roman Reigns sitting backstage and Paul Heyman is talking him up, talking about, hey, you ain't losing your title here. This is, quote unquote, Sami Zayn's house. No, this is not Sami Zayn's house. This is your house. The tribal chief ain't losing nothing tonight. So then we get to this matchup, the men's Elimination Chamber match. Now, I didn't expect this dude to be the MVP of this match. But boy, my goodness. Austin Theory, Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, Johnny Gargano, Montez Ford, and Seth Rollins. And this was a match that I didn't really care about. But the 6 of these cats, every single one of them did an outstanding job. I think that this was obviously the second best match on the show. They put in the work. But when I get to the end of this match, I didn't care nothing about it. And I understand what they were trying to do. They want to get the heat on dude, but I didn't care nothing about it. So the MVP of this whole match was Mr. Montez Ford. Montez Ford had the most eliminations. He was out there putting in work. They honestly made you think Montez was going to walk out with this match. They honestly did. But the spot that had everybody like, oh snap, gasping, like what? So Montez gets knocked out. Seth Rollins does the curb stomp on that man, and his head hit the ground. That man sold that thing like crazy. Now we thinking this man legit got injured. So everybody's already gone. Bronson gone, Damian Priest gone, Gargano gone. Now we down to the final three. We down to Montez, Austin Theory, Seth. After Montez got pinned and then got the curve stomp on him, Montez is selling this thing. I legit thought the man was in. He wasn't even moving. He wasn't flinching. This was all designed to get Logan Paul to run up in there. And when Logan Paul ran up in there, Seth was acting like he didn't see him. And then he goes in there and he does his little move on him. I said, now listen, do I think that the match at WrestleMania is going to be a good match? Yes, it's going to be a good match. Because Seth Rollins is great. And as much as I don't even like this cat, dude actually picked up the wrestling stuff pretty quickly. I've seen a couple of matches here so far. And people told me to go back and watch that Roman match. I've seen clips of it. I didn't see the whole thing. And heck, the spot that him and Ricochet did at the Royal Rumble, everybody was talking about. They said, well, that was Ricochet and Carmelo, last year, right? And I'm like, well, this dude picked it up, like I said. But here's the deal: the Paul brothers, man, they just give off, they give off vibes, man, where I can't mess with them. I don't care what they do, I just can't mess with them. The vibes they give off is just, I don't know. It's just I can't get down with them. So him coming out there doing the foolishness to Seth, the crowd was mad. They was upset. And throughout the entire match, they were singing Seth Rollins' song. Seth Rollins was by far one of the most overacts until Montez did what he had to do. Johnny was out there putting in work. Bronson Reed was doing a little something. Damian Priest did a little something himself. And Austin Theory. But I already knew. I said Austin Theory was definitely walking out with the championship. But they said, no, we're going to make sure he walk out. Logan Paul does his move. Austin Theory, all he does his finisher, and you kept hearing him talk about my time is now. He keeps saying my time is now. So that tells me all I need to know. Him versus Fruity Pebbles at WrestleMania is bound to happen. It's set up. We're getting it. We're getting Fruity Pebbles versus Austin Theory. And everybody know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about John Cena. Hey, so I thought the match was great, but like I said, the ending, I didn't really care too much about it. Honestly, I didn't. I thought, they wanted that dude to get heat, but, it is what it is. So, now, before I move on to the main event, so, check this out, right? Now, Triple H, I know dang well he don't have no dementia, and I know dang well he doesn't have amnesia. Triple H praised 5 of the men in this match, but somehow forgot to praise Montez Ford. So he hops on Twitter and said, oh yeah, Montez Ford did an outstanding job. I said, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me the MVP of the match, the man who basically outdid everybody in this match, you totally forgot that he was in the match, so you didn't mention him at the press conference? Yet you had to hop on Twitter and act like, oh yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, how many times do we have to tell you Triple H is the same way as Vince McMahon? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're not going to hear this on nobody else's podcast because everybody be deriding that man. Everybody derides this man. And listen, some people, they going to disagree with me heavy on this, but I'm just telling you both, it's true. How the heck did you forget the MVP of this match? You praise all 5 of these cats, but you somehow forgot to praise it. Montez Ford, who sold his tail off at the end. And listen, yes, Montez was bucking his eyes like crazy. I didn't care nothing about that. And he sure was mocking The Rock, acting like he was going to do the people's hell and just clowning. Like I said, man, I tell y'all all the time, we on this show, it's like the only way we can shine, we got to buck dance. We got to get the cooning, shucking, and jiving, buck dance. You're not going to hear this on nobody else's channel. Nobody's going to tell you the bold-faced truth how the WWE has been doing for years, for generations. Yes, Montez shined. Yes, Montez did a great job. But at the end of the day, how the heck are you going to forget that the man was in the match? Then you're going to hop on Twitter and act like, oh, it's phoniness, man. It's phony. It's phony. It's phony, man. But like I said, I thought everybody did great, like I said, but the ending, it is what it is. So, we get down to it, and then we get there. Ladies and gentlemen, The match that we got last night told you what the WrestleMania main event should have been. Now, I was expecting Sammy to cut his hair. He came out to his old theme song, so I'm like, okay, why don't you go ahead and shave that hair? Go look like how you used to look, because we associate you with the bloodline with all that bushy hair and stuff. I'm like, go ahead and shave that, shave your hair, get back to the true baby face Sami Zayn, right? Well, here's another swerve they did. Now, normally the challenger comes out first. They had Roman Reigns come out. Reigns comes out, it's just him and Paul Heyman. They came out and is as hostile as you get. This crowd was like, F you, Roman, and I mean, they was booing this man left and right. Here's the deal. Ladies and gentlemen, like I tell you all the time, if the E wants to get behind you, oh boy, will they get behind you. Why was this the hottest thing going in wrestling today? Because they decided to get behind it. They decided to put forth an effort. Had everybody talk about it. This was the main event of WrestleMania, ladies and gentlemen. And I knew the match. Now, here's the deal. Now, when they announced the match, I was like, because we already knew what was going to happen. Everybody and their mama knew what was going to happen. We all knew Sammy wasn't winning squad. He ain't even made it to WrestleMania yet. You keep throwing down our throats. Roman, Cody. Roman, Cody. Roman, Cody. Sammy ain't nowhere in sight. So how the heck do we get the heat off of Roman and put it on who everybody expected them to put it on? And I told y'all fools, and listen, this is no disrespect to anybody that's in my audience, but I'm talking about the fools in general, the clowns in the IWC, the clowns on Twitter, the clowns that just sit up saying anything all up on my timeline, talking about the tag team route was the way to go, and that the heat was going to be put on Jay. Ladies and gentlemen, before we even got the match, once Sami Zayn came out, that crowd went berserk. And his whole family was out there. His mom, his dad, his wife. I think those his daughters that were sitting up front. I said, dog. I said, you talking about emotion, baby. I said, if WWE wants to do something, they will do something. And this was by far everything. And I said, all you had to do is execute what you want to execute, and we will be off to the races going into WrestleMania. These two get in the ring, ladies and gentlemen, and they didn't even wrestle for the whole first 10 minutes of the match. The crowd hijacked the show for every good reason you would expect them to. That crowd was singing, ole, 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 F you, Roman, Sami Zayn, Sami Zayn, Sami's going to win. We seen signs that say if Roman wins, we riot. I'm telling you, this was by far one of the hottest crowds in wrestling today. And I'm like, dog. I told everybody, I said, y'all don't understand. Cody Rhodes' injury has messed up the main event titles. Oh, this is not Daniel Bryan. This is not Rotuni 2014. This is not the Yes Move. Blah, 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 blah. He ain't this. He ain't that. Cody Rhodes being on TV messed him up, ladies and gentlemen. It messed him up. It messed him up. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. They stood there for 10 freaking minutes and did nothing but embrace the crowd. They embraced the crowd. Roman playing his villainous role as he can possibly be, the lovable babyface in his hometown crowd, and they embraced it. And meanwhile, Roman was saying some stuff to Sammy, and Sammy, as his usual goofy self, was getting him to get out of character. Roman was over there laughing. He had to get back in the character. I said, that's typical Sammy for you. Sammy know how to get you out of he know how to get you off your square. So, but I'm sitting up there like, man, they might just have to call an audible. And I'm sitting up. So, I'm sorry about that. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry about that. I had to cough. I had to turn the thing off right quick. But anyway, man, listen. Cody's injury dwindled everything. If Cody never got injured, we would never got this. And then here's another thing too. You got to ask yourself this. Like I told y'all before, why the heck did we put Drew McIntyre and Sheamus together? They run around here acting like tag team, like they already done won tag team gold. I'm like, Usos could drop the tag team titles to them. No. They said nope. And like I said, I already knew. I was like, but how the heck are we going to get where we need to go to? This was by far, out of all of Roman Reigns' matches he done had, this was by far the best one. This was by far because Sammy looked the closest to looking like he was going to dethrone this man. They did everything that got the crowd involved. Roman kept going over taking him over to his family. Then when Sammy was getting his licks in and doing what he had to do, he ran over there to his wife and everything. Y'all, I'm telling you, the emotions out of this match, you talk about the bumpy ride, the roller coaster, the thriller. This match had everything you asked for. They told a epic story. I couldn't be mad with the match itself because they was banging. So then, as things are heating up, Sammy about to have this thing win, right? He got this in the bag, right? I said, you already know. Referee finna get laid out. Sure enough, my ref got laid out like it was nothing. Now remember, the word on the street was the Usos were quote unquote banned from overseas, right? Who pulls up first? Jimmy. Now, the one that everybody was like, well, who's the one that's supposed to get all the heat? Jay. Because that's what everybody who told me that the end goal, right, is for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to tag team with each other and take the tag team titles off the Usos, and that's going to be an epic story. Ladies and gentlemen, I told y'all from the jump. I said whatever they tried, it wasn't going to work. And ladies and gentlemen, who was right? They tried and they failed. Jimmy pulls up first. He does all the stuff, sweet chin music, beating the snot out of him. Then Roman does a spear. Referee finally wakes up, right? Wakes up. And guess what? Sami Zayn kicks out. So the crowd is even like, oh, snap. They say, oh, man. Everybody just going crazy. Everybody going berserk. Everybody going nuts. I'm like, and remember, I'm sitting over there like, okay. So then, Sami Zayn trying to do some more stuff. And guess what happened? My referee dude gets knocked out again. This time, Jay shows up. And Jay is in the ring, but he looks like he does not want to do it. And I told every single one of y'all, I said this. I said, ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to hate Jay. Because whatever they try to do, they're going to make you try to boo against Jay. It's not going to work, ladies and gentlemen, especially with what they did. They said, we got to get the heat off. Roman put it on Jay. Ladies and gentlemen, guess what Roman Reigns decided to do? He threw Sammy into Jay, which made Sammy spear Jay. So let me tell you something. Guess who also has a grip? Guess who also looks like he can go after the tribal chief again? Jey Uso. So ladies and gentlemen, you want me to boo Jey Uso going into WrestleMania? You want me to boo that man? WWE messed up. When they did that spot right there, that's what destroyed every credibility of the epic storytelling that they was telling it. And people gonna tell me I'm reaching. I seen cats online talk about y'all don't understand storytelling. No, y'all just like garbage booking. Y'all been accepting mediocre booking for years from this company. And I was like, you know what? I'm actually giving them the benefit of the doubt because this was one of the hottest stories going, period. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, I was ready. Like, all right, let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, the heat is not on Jay. And they can try. They can try. They can try. So, Roman does another spear. Match over. 1, 2, 3. Crowd looking sad. They looked dismal. So then, that's when Kevin Owens' music hit, and the crowd started to try to pop. And ladies and gentlemen, I told every single one of y'all that this stuff was not going to work. I told you. I tried to tell y'all. Y'all told me I was out of my mind. Y'all told me I was reaching. Y'all told me I was on bull jive. Y'all told me I was tripping. Whatever. And look what you got. For you cats that wanted the tag team match, you got it. And the build up is about to be whack. It's because here's the deal. WWE is going to try to treat us as if we're dumb in the head. The tape showed Roman throwing Sammy into Jay. The heat is not on Jay, it's still on Roman. So check this out. Now fools gonna want a triple threat. People gonna say Sami Zayn got screwed again. So now we gotta see Sami Zayn in the main event picture. Which check this out. Now you had a situation where you had to worry about Cody Rhodes getting booed. Ladies and gentlemen, it's over. It's over, ladies and gentlemen. It's over. I'm telling you right now. Come WrestleMania, I can't wait to see Roman Reigns beat the snot out of Cody because they messed up. They messed up. And here's the deal. You can even have Jay screw over Roman and have Cody win. You think I'm going to give a crap? Heck to the freaking no. They messed up. This could have been one of the best WrestleManias in years. From the build up to the production of everything. Just based on what took place after the match and in the match, messed up everything. Now we have to settle for a garbage tag team storyline. I don't give a crap about it. It's over, ladies and gentlemen. It's done. WWE failed. They failed, ladies and gentlemen. You can sit up here and tell me I'm just a AEW shield. Heck to the freaking no. Because I've been taking a dump on AEW. I give them praise when they do right. But when they do bull job, I get on their case. Triple H failed. That crowd was right in the palm of everyone's hands. You wanted to get the heat on Jay. You should have done it the much better way than you did it. The heat is still on Roman. Cody's whole thing is ruined, ladies and gentlemen. It's ruined. And they can try to fool it. They can try to fool you and have you thinking, oh, but it's going to be great. They're going to do the same thing with Roman and Cody. You're going to love it. You're going to want to see Cody beat Roman. Heck to the freaking no, I'm not. And it's funny how they mentioned 903. He ain't reached 1,000 days. He hasn't reached 1,000 yet. So that tell me right there, Roman Reigns ain't losing at WrestleMania, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to love it. I'm going to be happy as heck. I'm going to love it. When he beat the brakes off of Cody, I'm like, yes, best for biz. Now Triple H and them doing something decent. But you decided to go this garbage route. You could have found the way to get that heat on Jay if you wanted to, but they chose not to. They chose to do the idiotic booking that they decided to do. The match was stellar. I thought the match was great. But the stupid stuff that happened just ruined everything. People talk about pay close attention to detail. Yeah, WWE gonna treat you like a retard. You WWE shields that love everything that they spoon feed you. They gonna treat you like a retard as we move forward. Watch. You watch. You watch. They're gonna treat you like a retard. And you know what? I hate to use that terminology. They're gonna treat you like you have no sense. Like you in the insane asylum or something. Listen, man. With all the bull crap that Triple H pulled last night, I honestly wanted to give this man a high passing grade. I really did. But he continues to show you that he don't know what the clown he's doing. He just doing anything. He just doing anything right now. And people say, well, Vince McMahon in the back. You know what, man? Screw that. Screw that. Triple H is quote unquote in control of the creative, right? This on his helmet. This foolishness is on his helmet. Man, WrestleMania season is about to be a joke. I'm serious. It's about to be a joke. It's about to be a sad joke, ladies and gentlemen. WrestleMania season is finna be a sad joke. And cats gonna be telling me, oh man, you just doom and gloom. Oh man, you reaching. Nope. I've told you. We all knew. Y'all acting like, oh, you know. I picked Roman to retain because I knew that this was the route they was going. But the way how they got to it, it was again very anticlimactic. You listen, what? Listen, I want one person to come in my comment section and try to tell me why everything I said is wrong about this whole situation. What is going to make me root against Jay moving forward? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. They can try everything. They can have Jay finally wake up and the Usos both beat the brakes. They can. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work, man. And then you're gonna be trying to force this Cody Rhodes stuff. It ain't gonna work, man. I'm telling y'all right now. You mark my words, ladies and gentlemen. This Cody Rhodes thing, y'all, it's gonna come back to bite them in the butt. I'm telling y'all, man. Listen, this ain't no game. This ain't no game. H, man, what the heck, dude? What the heck? First, the Bobby Lashley trash, and then forgetting that Montez Ford was putting on an epic performance, and then you give it this garbage crap. Terrible. Terrible. You have to get us from point A to point B, and then from point B to point C. Nah. I told y'all that I knew it. I was watching. I was thinking, okay, they got to come up with something. They had to. And then, oh, let's have Kevin Owens help and beat the brakes. And he just like, I don't give a rat's behind about that. You can act like that's excellent. It's not. Oh, they're gonna main event night one. No, Charlotte's gonna main event night one. I'm just telling you right now. It's gonna be Charlotte and Rhea. They gonna main event night one. Man, oh my goodness, boy. Listen, I want to apologize for having to edit the video like that because I just out the woodwork was coughing like crazy, like I said. But my goodness, man. I'm trying to get his food the benefit of the doubt. I'm trying. But H keep telling on himself every day. Every day. Fools will say, oh man, this is by far the best Triple H pay-per-view he's done. No, I still think Clash of the Castle was his best. And even he had some janky crap that happened on that show. Listen, man. When y'all gonna learn? When y'all gonna learn? You know, I tried. I really did. I tried. I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch this show. I said Triple H already got me ticked off with the crap he did with Bobby Lashley. Let me try to watch this show. Let me try. The women did pretty good. The men's match was okay. The mixed tag team match was pretty good. The main event, but the stupid stuff that happened. It was the stupid stuff. Listen, let me tell y'all something. When we are supposed to feel some kind of way, it's supposed to make sense. I always say this. I say wrestling is great when you feel some kind of way, when the situation makes sense. But what they decided to do last night made no type of sense because nobody wants to see Jay as a heel. I mean, technically, if Jay can be mad at Sammy, but he really can't be mad at Sammy. He is mad at Roman. Roman threw him into him. But y'all fools want me to be booing Jay. It's not going to work, man. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to work, ladies and gentlemen. I done went on for a long time about this. I said I was going to come on here and I was going to dissect this show and I was going to cook Triple H behind. See, a lot of these cats that's shilling for Triple H, they going to be out here, oh man, this is by far the great. This is excellent. This is epic. No, what? The crowd reaction was spot on. The crowd was excellent tonight. But the foolishness that they decided to do tonight is they going to regret it. They will regret it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling y'all right now, whether you in agreement with me or not, they will regret this. They will regret this because this is going to come back and bite them in the tail. And Cody Rhodes can try to play this epic baby face all he want. It ain't working, y'all. It ain't working. It's not working. I'm telling y'all, man, it's not working. Listen, if you new to the channel, I'm telling you right now, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. We only gonna get better. I come on here and I be real, as authentic as I can. I'm not gonna shit for one company over the other. When AEW do bull jive, you best believe I'm gonna cook their tail. And I hate the fact that I cooked AEW. I had a whole hour and 7-minute video. I cooked the mess out of them for that garbage Dynamite that they put on. Yet they decided to do okay on Rampage. And here tonight, Triple H and them, man, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, WrestleMania season is about to be hot garbage. Y'all can enjoy it all you want. I'm telling you right now. Will some of the matches on the show be good? Absolutely. But I'm telling you, man, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap, man. Listen. Hit the comment section up. Y'all tell me how you feel. You tell me if you in 1,000% agreement with me, or you tell me I'm wrong. And tell me I'm wrong, but tell me I'm wrong in a very respectful manner. And I'll do my best to come back with a rebuttal. Make sure you hit like this video, share this video all over the place. It's your boy K Spell, King Self Life Wrestling Takes. I will talk to y'all cats later on. I'll let your boy.